pile. I swear to God. Alright, so it's been a while since I put out a video. It's been a matter of me forgetting my camera and not filming things. And I'm gonna attempt to explain everything. This car has had a lot that's gone on. Right here, this fender's pretty messed up. I got in a crash, it got hit here. It actually bent the frame. It was at night, I had my headlights up, it bent the frame under the headlight, so thank God it didn't break anything with the headlight assembly. Still goes up and down just fine. We pounded it back out with a hammer, thanks to Gabe and Kevin for helping me out with that. So the frame is straight again. This is still just beat up, so I'm gonna just have to replace that fender. As we were doing that, we discovered that the car had a blown head gasket. Gabe, again, offered to help me out and replace my head gasket. And then we discovered some other things. As soon as the head gasket was in, that it was dumping water. And it was just the intake manifold gasket had been put in backwards, so we put that in correctly. It now doesn't leak coolant at all. We just did a coolant flush on it this morning, and now we're just making sure the whole system's good. We're trying to get it up to operating temp. This is the best the car's ever run. We suspect that the head gasket had been blown for a while. The car had run well in the past, but not ever as well as it is right now. It's running perfectly smoothly right now. By now, usually the car would be ticking and knocking and not sounding great. It didn't really like to idle before. It's been idling for a while and it's doing just fine. So this car has a long way to go. The goal for it was to make it a show car, make it pretty. Of course, we've had some setbacks with that, and it's time to just fix it. I think we're almost at completely functional. We're almost okay. I don't think I'm gonna put any body panels back on this car or replace any body panels in this color. If you guys have talked to me in person or seen my videos in the past, you know that I'm not a huge fan of this color. I did wrap it this color, but it was completely impulsive, and it was like a year and a half ago, and I don't really like it. And the main reason for that is it's almost exactly the same as Miata M Edition, 95 M Edition Maroon, which is not what I was going for. This car isn't an M Edition, I don't want it to be one, and I'm just not a fan of the color that it is. So, there's a good chance that in future videos, the next time you guys see this car, it will be getting new body panels, and they won't be that color. They'll probably be the next color that I'm hoping to have the car. And when I replace the body panels, I'm going to be wrapping them one at a time and then putting them on as I wrap them. And we'll do that for every single body panel that's removable from the car. And then we'll wrap the unibody and the hardtop and things like that. The hardtop I'm not planning to do myself, just because the hardest part of wrapping is all of the different ways that something can curve. And this curves literally every direction possible. It's a piece of a sphere, and that's really hard to wrap. So I'm probably gonna send that to Shazam or Kingston Auto Styling or somewhere that has more professional experience wrapping, because I don't trust myself to make this look good, and it needs a lot of prep before we do that. But things like the trunk lid, we can wrap ourselves. We can take the rear bumper off and wrap it. This finish panel isn't the most terrible thing. It's not fun, but it's not the worst. These rear quarter panels weren't actually that bad, but they need some body work. The doors were actually really easy. These fenders were actually really easy. The hood was not easy, but that's because I was doing it alone. With a few people, it'd probably be a lot easier. Headlight covers are obviously really easy. And I have another front bumper that's a lot cleaner than this one. It's not cracked on this side and dented in the front. It's clean, so it's gonna, when we do that, we'll do it off the car and make sure we do it all in one big dry space, and do it all in one big piece of vinyl rather than splitting it up into like 7 sections that I did with this bumper, because I was rushed. And so this car probably won't be changing a whole lot until we have all of the wrapping materials, all of the body panels we need, everything's set up and ready to go, and we have time to let the car sit and not have to be used all the time. This is currently my daily, and I can't really just let it sit. So it's gonna stay like this for a while. It's gonna have this damage on this side. It doesn't at all affect the functionality of the car, so I'm not worried about it. So yeah, this is an update on the Miata, and I thought I'd bring the camera along to the shop. I've been at the shop for this is the third day. Just as things happen with this car and other things happen around the shop, I've just been here because I can't go anywhere because this is my only running car. Now the Saab we made some more discoveries with, but I'll get back into those when I get back inside. But yeah, this is probably gonna stay like this for a while. It's not gonna be pretty, but it's gonna be worth it because we're gonna do a full transformation all at once. If we have time and I don't have to worry about this car being on the road all the time and being daily and having to take it places, then that will allow us to more efficiently change it. I took the carpet out of the Saab, so this is the rear carpet. Hi Nala. Nala likes to stand on them for whatever reason. Rear carpet has a lot of rust on it. There's a lot of this that is just kind of flaked off just from there being moisture within the car because it doesn't seal completely. The front carpet's actually in better shape and could probably be shampooed and brought back to life. The fact that these carpets are hard to find, especially in blue, makes me consider keeping them out because the floor in this car is blue and the only rusty panel is actually a separate piece. It's on top of the tunnel in the center there. It's not actually a piece of the floor. The floors are super solid, so I can actually show better on the front. These floors are fine, like totally fine. So I'm thinking I might just clean it and keep it carpetless. It doesn't really need it, and it'll, you know, keep the patina project car look to it, which is kind of the end goal that I'm going with for it. It's still soaking with vinegar. There's still vinegar in the gas tank, and it's getting all that gunk and rust and shit out of the gas tank and making sure it's all clean and we're not going to get rust and gunk into our fuel system. So that's still soaking. It's been soaking for a few days. It probably has maybe a day or two or a little bit longer to go. But I found a way. I found out how that seat is mounted and how we're gonna have to mount this seat. This seat's just kind of sitting in place. It's not attached to the car at all. So we're gonna have to figure that out. As far as reupholstery goes, I've learned that it's probably more expensive to reupholster these seats than to replace them, especially with all of the Saab 99 groups I found on Facebook. I can probably source something. I don't know if it'll be blue. I don't know if I'll be able to find blue seats. It'd be great if I could find blue seats, but I'd be fine with even a tan interior, honestly, would not look bad with this car. And we could get maybe tan carpeting to replace and do something with the headliner that's the same, or even black. Black would look just as good. So I'm not picking on color, and I'm gonna see what I can find before I take it to a reupholstery shop. If I really can't find seats, then it might be worth reupholstering these. But for now, seat covers will have to do, and I'll be looking for some. So yeah, that's the update with the Saab and the shop. Shop's of course got plenty of cars and things happening, and there's always something going on. The Rocket Bunny 240 build, which is back here, still in progress. The FC, the FB, the Miata's turbo motor is officially in the car now, and it's looking dope. There are a lot of things that I'll have Gabe explain that he did that are really cool. I'll have that explained later. Alright, so the Miata's been running for a while, and it's up to operating temp. It doesn't have a thermostat in it right now because our thermostat was gunked up and terrible. So I am gonna run and get a thermostat and some coolant and hope to God that it's fine. It's still running colder than it ever has, and it's so smooth. Like, this car is stiff as hell and it would usually rattle around and everything, and it just feels great. So I'm gonna go drive it and report back with how decent it drives. All right, so literally just like a block from the shop right now, and car feels so much better. It runs so much smoother. It feels so good. it's never run this smooth. Everything sounds good. It's finally a completely functional car. And with all the things that we did, these are all things that will increase the longevity of the car. Things that are supposed to last a really long time, so hopefully none of them will go bad. And if anything does come up, it will be an absolute priority to fix it right away. Because this car, I'm planning to take care of. It's not a car I want to get rid of at all, but car's feeling so good right now. So good. So smooth. Oh, I'm not gonna get over that. It's never felt that good. We are officially at Every Car Enthusiast's spiritual homeland. All right, we got our shit. We're back. Hello. So, real quick, something else I discovered with this car is there's a little hole in my reverse light. So I gotta find another one of those, or find a way to cover that up, because I don't want water getting in there. So another cool thing that Jarrett set up is back here. So this is this little covered area. But back here we have screen printing supplies. So I'm gonna start having all of my LTMC merch screen printed here. And we'll be doing our own screens in-house and able to print in whatever color, so we'll have different colors of screens, and we'll be able to bulk order shirts and things like that, so that we can have some more variety in these. Instead of doing an order of 24 of the same thing, maybe we can do one of each and they can be made to order. And that way we can make a bunch, we can have, one of each. We can do press photos of them and we can put them up on the website. And then each time you order one, we'll make it fresh for you and then send it out. So if you guys are wanting any of the LTMC things, my website's always the first one in the description. You guys can go check that out. And that helps me fix these stupid cars. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. It's a really simple process. I've always wondered how this was done. So it's kind of cool to see it all laid out and see how it works. So, that's awesome. All right, it's the next day. So I'm probably not going to talk on the camera too much today. I didn't really do that much filming yesterday, and I feel like I was able to cover it better if I was just kind of walking around with the camera and showing what's happening. So today, I borrowed the Crosstrek from my mom because she wasn't using it, and I needed a car to get places because that one is still very broken. So I grabbed my gimbal, and any work that we do today, I'll just be running around with the gimbal. What we found yesterday is the head gasket and head studs all should probably be replaced again. So even though we just did all of that, it still has an incredible amount of pressure in the cooling system, and we even deleted the heater core. We just went line to line to bypass it, and we were still getting an insane amount of pressure. So we're guessing that the head is still probably warped a bit. Shout out to Paul. He got in touch with me yesterday and said that he could probably get my head machined with an actual machine for machining heads. Huge shout out to Paul for that. And I already ordered head studs. They'll be in tomorrow. And I already ordered head gasket, which should be in by either 5 tonight. But if it's after 5, then it'll be in tomorrow morning. So those two things will come in tomorrow. So this is going to end up being a 3-day video. But it's been a 6-day ordeal of getting this car back on the road. So we're on day 4 now of what will probably be a 6-day deal, but I didn't start filming until yesterday. So, yeah, I'm going to try and cover as much as I can. I'll just be running around with the gimbal. You guys will see just kind of little cinematic editing shots, because we're usually playing music in there, and I don't really want to get copyright striked or anything like that on my channel. So, yeah, that's the story today. Is we're going to be trying to prep the car for all of the head gasket things that we have to do tomorrow, and we'll be trying to find any clogs in the cooling system.